Hi everybody, I'm Bob King with Frontline Communications in Clearwater, Florida. I want to show you our Nissan NV. So we're going to do kind of a rolling narrative of what this truck is all about. I'm going to start at the front end here where we have an engine-mounted generator system, which is unique to the industry. There are other ones out there, but this one is unique because it runs at 24 volts. Let me open the hood. This alternator is a 300 amp, 28 volt alternator, and it runs off the engine power. And this is a big V8 in Nissan NV 3500. So this is running at normal idle, which is 750 RPM. You don't have to ramp up the idle to get the power that you need to do a live shot. And that does a couple of things. One, it cuts down the amount of heat that's generated because you're not running at a higher RPM. And it cuts down on fuel consumption, but moreover, for TV purposes, it cuts down on the noise. And that's a real big factor if you're shooting right next to it. Come on over here, I want to show you the battery system. These are mil-spec batteries. They're glass mat batteries. They're guaranteed for 3 years, but we learned about these from the FBI in their command centers, and they said they didn't want to use anything else because these last 5 to 6 years. They're they're not as deep as they look. They're only about that deep, but they're very strong batteries, and with a guarantee like 3 years, that's much more than you're going to get out of any other conventional lead acid battery. You note that we've got these LED lights everywhere. All the lighting on this truck is 12 volt LED. I'm going to close that up, and I wanted you to come around the back end here. Okay, now we're at the back end of the truck, and you open up the OEM doors, and these doors will open up to 180 degrees practically. Now the beauty part about this system, and we thought about this a lot in talking to people that have run trucks, stations, and I ran a truck in my career in television. One of the biggest things was I've got all this stuff piled in the back of the racks here, and something goes wrong and I've got to get to the back of the racks in a hurry, much less having to go in there for maintenance. So we use a little Stone Age technology and built this system that rolls out. Now I'm going to pull out the other half of it, and this is a camera case in here. This one rolls out a little further, and now it's just a quick jump up to get to the back of the rack. So once you're up here, it's just a counterclockwise turn of 2 latches, and there you are in the rack. You can check whatever connector, whatever wall wart might have come loose, and trace things real quick. Now this is a great thing for real problems at close to airtime when you got to find something that's going wrong, but it's also great, that's the best part, is maintenance, because maintenance doesn't get done on a lot of trucks because you got to dump all that stuff out of the back and go in there, and you really should do it in a mobile environment. Things come loose, so once or twice a month you ought to go in there and just check the connectors. This makes it a lot easier, and putting them back in is as easy as pulling them out. You just push the red ball in, and there you go. And we've done all kinds of other things here to make things easy for maintenance and usability and user friendliness. All your DC fuse blocks are right here. You got an extra AC outlet. These are the fuse blocks. And then you got an extra dump valve here for the mast. It'll dump it twice as fast after you push the down valve on the mast control. Okay, this is a Tempest mast, and it's different from the Wilbert, and it doesn't require an oiler, only a filter, air filter, and a pressure regulator. It uses the same kind of pressure, and we use a 24 volt high volume pump to pump air into it, so it gets a greater volume faster. And then the box, you'll see a blue shield inside of that black shroud. That's the Victron charger converter inverter, and the power comes from the batteries, 24 volts into that device, and gets split out to 120 volts at 12 volts for the lighting and 24 volts for the mast compressor. Okay, another good feature here, we do have a conventional I/O panel. We can do them with the interior I/O panel, which this one also has. Everything you need is here. Even a fiber optic connector, and we can do special angle down connectors for the fiber optic. One thing I want to show you is this fast mast system. This mast will go up in 1 minute and 40 seconds usually. And I'm going to start it right now. Here we go. One of the beauty parts, this has a 6-gallon air buffer tank that helps get the first several sections up very fast, as you can see. And it'll maintain it once it's up. But it's the high-speed, high-capacity compressor that gets the greater volume faster into the mast. And again, you know, if it's the lead story and you got to be on the air in 5 minutes, this mast is going to take 1 minute and 40 seconds to get up. Okay, now that we have the mast up, you're basically ready to rock and roll. As you can see, I'm standing up. This has 6 feet of headroom. I'm only 5'11" and getting shorter every day. This has a wonderful workspace, and it's very easy to feel comfortable in this workspace. Of course, the Corian countertop is an extra, but it sure is nice, although optical mice don't work on it. A lot of the features that we brought into the truck are born from comments from everybody, trying to be convenient as possible and as user-friendly. We've put in a lot of these panels with AC, 12-volt conventional lighter, and then USB charging facility. And then the light controls are here, the overhead lights, and they're dimmable, and you can switch them on and off. If you're editing and you want them off, that's fine. We even have them under the console. They're all 12-volt LED, and the beauty part about those is they probably won't be changed in your lifetime or mine. And as you can see, I can put my hand right on it, and it's not going to overheat. So lowering the heat load inside the truck was paramount. So all of the lights inside and out are LED. We also came up these cabinets. These are an upgrade cabinet. They're all aluminum. They're pretty darn nice. And we even put the charging facilities inside the cabinet, so you can put something on charge and close them up. You can get these locking. This is dry erase, so you can write on it. Quick notes. And we try to provide storage wherever we can, every nook and cranny. As you can see, we've got 3 monitors here. They're real inexpensive monitors, but you can put a laptop computer in there for editing, of course, and then if you want to have another one for email or something else, you can plug in. We have a facility on the back side of the side of the rack to do that. If you want to back up a little bit and take a look at the rack system, this rack, there's probably 11 or 12 rack units that are spare in this rack. This is a basic Get Me on the Air ENG system with capability. It does have a mass camera system in it. It's got an audio meter, which we put the meters in there because we had them. But it's got a 16 by 16 router, which is only 1 rack unit. The beauty part about this one, besides being pretty inexpensive as they are these days, it has a built-in multi-viewer. And most of those are that way. So this is general run-of-the-mill equipment. The beauty part about this, again, is the electrical system. And if you can try to focus in on this panel right here, it's an LCD. Unfortunately, I want it to be an LED, but there, it's lighting up. It tells you what the vehicle engine is running right now. It's hard to hear, which is a good thing. It runs through this battery system into the charger converter inverter. Now, I'm going to reach over and I'm going to turn off, as soon as that helicopter passes, and I'm going to turn off the engine. Okay, so I've turned the engine off, and now, and I have to put my bifocals on to read it. It tells you at current power draw, I have 4 hours and 10 minutes. So that's with everything that I have on. And if you want to manage your power, you can bring that figure up. If I turn on the exterior LEDs, it'll take some time off of that, but you can also shoot by the external LEDs that we have on there. 5,600 degrees Kelvin balanced, and they don't attract bugs either, which is another point. But the beauty part here is it's seamless. I'm still running. Granted, I don't have the air conditioning from the vehicle engine, but in a pinch, you've got enough time to get the shot done, and that's what counts. And this system is just been terrific because most of the components are mil-spec, and the mean time between failure figures on all the equipment is really excellent. It's better than excellent. So this is the Nissan NV. This is just a short view of the facilities that we have in it. One last thing before we go, I wanted to show you that the passenger seat, this is an option to swivel it. We have all sorts of plug-ins for the reporter here, so to plug in computer and microphones and cut tracks, etc., and all kinds of charging facilities at the dash for the truck operator. Thanks a lot for listening, and hope to see you soon.